So on one show, I've heard that you were saying that there are patterns. Right now, you can say by a pattern that this child is going to either transition or is having some kind of a gender problem, right? Did you see any patterns back then with your own kid?
Yes. I mean, now I know the pattern. At the time, I didn't. So what happens is these girls, starting at puberty, right around puberty, start to show signs of, distress with their bodies. And they essentially wear a uniform. They start wearing big sweatshirts, skater pants. Mm-hmm. They cut their hair. They become depressed. And there's kind of a uniform. They wear Hawaiian shirts is another thing. They get their hair cut in a certain manner. It's part of a club.
But isn't it common through all the girls, the tomboys? Maybe they're listening to this kind of a music, they roller skate or they use the skateboards, and this is just a part of their culture?
It's not just the tomboys. My daughter was extremely girly. She was pink and sparkles and dresses her whole childhood, and that abruptly changed. So it's not just the tomboys that get caught in this. It's girls who just get indoctrinated at their schools, or they're not in the quote unquote cool crowd, and they get enticed into this belief system. It's not organic. It's not natural at all.
So right now, seeing from the retrospective, right? Do you see what was the pinpoint of all that? What happened? They just read a book, watched a movie, or maybe that was just accumulating, and that was just one point in life when she said, "That's it. I don't know who I am."
Well, it's cumulative, and it starts at now it starts at 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, because the schools are now reading to kids about transgenderism at that age. But what happens is that seed is planted by a third party. And that seed could be planted in 4th grade, 5th grade, whatever grade. And when that child is then going through a distressful period of their time or of their life, that seed grows into a rejection of their body. So for my daughter, she had a sex ed course in 7th grade. So she was about 11, and she and all of her friends after that class came over to my house, and they all claimed to have some kind of LGBTQ identity. Every single one of these girls claimed something. One was lesbian, pansexual, polyamorous, language that they shouldn't actually have in their vocabulary. And that was the moment I discovered, wow, my public school is teaching these kids a bunch of nonsense.
And all of them, how many of them there were?
5.
5 girls, all of them wanted to become someone else.
Yes, because it's something cool. They're given a label. They're given a list of names that they can possibly be. And it's novel and interesting. And they're also at the same time being taught that being a straight white girl is being an oppressor, is bad. And so girls at that age, especially around 11 and 12, they want to be liked. And so they want to join this group of the kindness group. I'm going to be really gross here. They are putting together a chemical concoction for males for some kind of oozing to come out of their breasts. They're feeding infants. That's right. So it's a pedophile's dream. Anime turns into hentai. Hentai is cartoon pornography. It can have incest, bestiality, pedophilia. I mean, pedophilia with like 2-year-olds.
What?
Why are there so many men now, 50-year-old men, saying that they're women, leaving their families or leaving their jobs, going into little girls' bathrooms? They are created. I once heard a doctor say, it was exciting. We could change sex. How exciting. And then you have the people who are just in it for the money, because, man, the money's good. And then you have the fetish people who are doing it because it's cool to cut off little boys' penises and fashion fake vaginas out of them. It's a fetish. Remember we talked about the pedophilia? So there's adult men with micro penises because they were put on puberty blockers. Their penis never grew to be at the man size, and it never will. When she had her baby, her milk came in, but she doesn't have any breasts.
Oh, wow.
And the doctors didn't know what to do. We're in an incredibly dark place where humanity is disappearing unless we switch really, really quick. This will be the end of our civilization. I don't care what happens to me. I really don't. I only care what happens to the future generations.